No, yes.
Wrestlers.
Okay.
Suffering bruise, maybe broken ribs, difficulty breathing, coughing up blood.
Giant erection.
Yeah, Tommy Striker.
Fat.
I like that butt.
Don't you dare be sour! Welcome to the Best Pro Wrestling Podcast, where we talk about the best pro wrestling in the world. We are back after a few weeks of being gone here. We haven't talked since before SummerSlam, which was only a couple of weeks ago, but we just skipped last week. Or did we skip 2 weeks? What did we do 2 weeks ago? Did we just do post?
We did a preview episode, yeah.
We did the preview and a post. We did a post G1.
Oh, yeah.
And that was the last two episodes
G1 happened.
That was the last two episodes that we recorded. So, but again, we're not doing a strong honor this week, and we were kind of talking here a little bit before the show. I should introduce everybody. I'm Tommy Stryker.
What?
That's Taco over there.
What up?
Joe is here as well.
What's up?
And we were just three dudes talking about pro wrestling, talking about the best pro wrestling, talking about a little bit of everything. Now, if you're new,
I'm a little bit of rock and roll.
Sometimes.
I'm a little bit of country.
If you're new, what kind of music do you play here? Oh, we play both kinds, country and western.
I thought we only listened to grindcore death metal.
So on this show, I want to talk about the strong honor thing a little bit, because we might have some new listeners this week with the whole All In thing coming up here, and we're going to talk about All In coming up. We're going to talk about everything that's gone on since SummerSlam, basically. Not a ton of New Japan stuff to talk about this week, but you get into a little bit of that on the All In side of things.
Mm-hmm.
But what I want to talk about going forward is
I like that butt.
I want to go back to just doing one podcast a week. So it's probably just going to be Best Pro Wrestling Podcast going forward. Now, I'm not saying we're going to completely get rid of Strong Honor. Maybe we'll do a Strong Honor once in a while when it's just a heavy New Japan week. But I just kind of want to get back to just talking about everything on one show. Some shows we're going to talk a lot of WWE. Some shows we're probably not going to talk any WWE, depending on how much I watch it. But I mean, that's the thing. Is like Joe is more likely to watch Raw and SmackDown, and I'm more likely to watch some random Road to Destruction New Japan show and some random Honor Club Ring of Honor show. So I'm going to kind of bring that aspect of my game to the podcast, and whereas Joe's going to always, generally speaking, be up on what's going on.
Dare you generalize them?
Main roster WWE. And Taco, I know you're watching just about.
I'm watching like Golden Girls and. Oh, and like everything wrestling related.
I mean, you even got in on some Triple Mania last week.
Yeah, I did
right?
get some Triple Mania in. It was just fucking 8 hours of wrestling though, and I'm like fucking trying to do other things. State fairs in town, just fucking nonstop. So it's very hard to watch, 8 hours of WWE product, let alone AAA, where they're not even speaking a lick of English. But the nice thing is, I know very next to no Spanish and English apparently, but I can understand more words watching that I could the Japanese New Japan stuff.
Well, I thought I heard that like Matt Stryker and Vampiro were doing the triple.
I don't know. Yeah, they were.
Triple Mania show.
Because someone found like a sound clip of Vampiro farting, and it was like so loud the microphone caught. So yeah, Vampiro, that's hilarious.
Check the Easter egg at the end of the show, kids, for the callback on that joke.
But yeah, I don't know how because I threw my Twitch thing towards AAA for the month, and watch that. I do want to go back because there's some Shane Strickland's out there and like a 4-way match with like ACH and fucking Jeff Jarrett came out. I don't understand why he still has ring gear that says Global Force and people still pay him money to do things. I don't understand it.
Well, he's apparently going after Impact now for having the Global Wrestling Network and having his fucking Amped show on there and whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Fucking Jeff Jarrett's the biggest carny in the world.
I don't get, but yeah, it
getting
seemed
that
like a
money.
fun show.
Yep.
He just keeps getting people to give him money to keep him going. So whatever. We got to start off the way we always start off with the best of the week before we get into too much other stuff.
I was going to say awkward.
I can't believe we jumped into some Triple Mania talk before we did anything else. But
I don't think there would be any more.
The B stands for best.
I'm going to start with my best of the week with the all-in build-up that they've been doing on the various different YouTube platforms. The Being the Elite from the Young Bucks, their show, and then Cody has a thing that's in conjunction with like Billy Corgan and those guys that he does with the Young Bucks. It's called All Us, and it's basically about Cody and the Bucks and build and how All In is coming together. And so that show has done a really good job building everything up for that. As well, I mean, going back to the Being the Elite, it was the 25-minute go-home Being the Elite this week with everybody cutting promos leading up to the thing. You know, Marty Scurll is cutting a promo like in a back. Like the camera goes in and Hangman Page and Matt Jackson are signing autographs for people, and it goes out a back door, and there's Marty Scurll sitting there by himself. He cuts this great promo on how he's going to try, prove everybody wrong because nobody thinks Marty Scurll can defeat Kazuchika Okada, and so he's cutting this long, passionate pro wrestling style promo. The camera, once he's done, goes back inside, and Matt Jackson turns to the thing and says, "Who's Marty talking to out there?" So that's fun. You got the Stephen Amell, Christopher Daniels stuff going on. That's kind of the battle of two.
How dare he wear a Marvel shirt?
Exactly. Yeah, like the two different comic book fandom ships or whatever, butting heads has kind of been the build, but really good promos from both. Even like Stephen Amell, who's he's an actor or whatever and a fan, but fuck, he's cutting really cool promos in settings that kind of make sense. Like he cut one a couple of weeks ago on the set for his TV show or whatever, and he's acting all Hollywood, being on his TV set and all that. But then like the last couple of weeks, he's been like in the training, training with Cody Rhodes and like in an ugly garage, with a ring or whatever, and he's in there cutting a promo talking about how he's working hard and all of this, and Christopher Daniels shows up and they have a little back and forth, which is really not just a verbal back and forth, but really good stuff. So I've enjoyed that. I feel like there was something else. The NWA videos that Billy Corgan and them are putting out as well. Just the Nick Aldis stuff, the Cody story along with that. All of it has just been really, really good. So if you're getting ready to go to All In and check it out, I really recommend just watching those all of those series of videos, at least the last 3 weeks of those, and those will really get you hyped up for those events. Or for All In, I should say. Joe?
Dude, I think everyone is hyped for All In.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get into it here in a minute, but yeah, it's going to be a really fun and exciting weekend. So, Joe, what's your best of the week?
The B stands for best.
I know it's not popular with a lot of people, but like the build-up between Samoa Joe and AJ, the way they're making it very personal. They're again, Joe just going after his family, and yeah, Joe fucking this week on SmackDown. He fucking calls Wendy on his cell phone and talks to her, and she's pissed too, obviously, because she don't give a fuck.
So wait a minute, how do we know she's pissed? Is there like a camera on her at home or something?
No, he's on there and he's reacting correctly. He just reacts correctly.
He's doing like she's screaming in the phone and like moves it away from his ear kind of shit. Sure. Like, what the hell? Like, it's Samoa Joe. Yeah,
but these two,
it's been fun. Just him getting under AJ's skin like that, and the WWE playing it right too. It's very easy to go off the fucking deep end when it comes to like the pulling the family shit in. As long as they're not doing ladder match for AJ's kid kind of match. But it's being done in like such a good way though. Or Samoa Joe is a perfect asshole. We know their history together. but WWE's never gonna admit it. Oh, they've crossed paths in the indies, they'll say. But I couldn't disagree with Joe.
Yeah, just to go back to the SummerSlam match, I really liked the match. The finish, it made sense, because it's Samoa Joe just getting under his skin. And so in that sense, it made sense, but it was also, fuck, it's that fucking bullshit finish, but now we can come back to this. And it was a good match up to that point, and I want to see more of it.
And AJ's on such a fucking streak right now, though, so it's good that, Samoa Joe is being that wild card, that, that chaotic force. The last week's SmackDown, that in the middle of the interview with fucking AJ just being ripped off the ramp out of nowhere. It's little shit like that. It's adding to it.
Yeah, and it does, like you brought up a minute ago, as long as they're not having a ladder match for somebody's kid or whatever, there are aspects of this thing that kind of that cause me to have a bit of pause. It's like, with the Samoa Joe calling his wife thing, it reminds me a little too much of some things that they did with AJ in TNA. I can't remember what her name was, but they did a whole storyline where is AJ cheating on his wife thing, and it was kind of like it was really no, I was going to say Katie Vick. That was not it. That was something completely different. So I worry about where this could go, and I worried about the wife and kids sitting in the audience at the show. It's like, where are they going with this?
Hope they don't bring them back in the crowd at this point.
But it worked out well. The way they did it ended up being good.
Exactly.
Like with AJ.
They're not pushing the wrong buttons here.
AJ's head bleeding and his daughter being like,
Daddy, you're bleeding.
Yeah. It's like, oh, my bad. So that was that they did well. So I'm cautiously enjoying this.
See, I just wish they would have done that match at the pay-per-view before SummerSlam. I'd rather have the big, epic conclusion to the feud at SummerSlam rather than, say, Hell in a Cell.
Oh, come on, counselor.
Well, I like that they did have a pretty good epic match, and they're going to come back now. Did they announce officially they're going to do this?
It's at Hell in a Cell,
but not in Hell in a Cell.
Correct. I think this one will be a straight up match, just because that's what people want to see. And we've got our 2 set matches now. You've got Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman, which will be in a Hell in a Cell. We'll get to later, and then Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton on the SmackDown side. I think we'll get one apiece, maybe a women's.
Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy inside.
I'm excited for that, dude. Yeah.
All right,
fuck Tommy.
We'll get into it, but I just. It just doesn't sound like. This doesn't
I'm
sound
flipping
like.
them off as hard as I can.
I'm like.
What? No. Yes.
Look at this. I'm doubling up.
Double up.
You guys are over there like. We'll get into it. Taco, what is your best of the week?
Fucking. If you call it what you want to call it, fucking just Becky Lynch's new attitude, her newfound wisdom, her fuck you mentality. She's fucking going around with the big dick energy now. Like, I'm loving it. Like, it's great. At SummerSlam was like, fuck. Like, she's the one that got pinned. Like, they just killed the moment. Everyone was Team Becky going in that. There's no denying that. And it just, with everyone bitching, prior to SummerSlam, like, oh, it's just Vince McMahon putting the title on big-titted blonde women again. It's fucking Charlotte, we still did. We still moved those championships to blonde women again, and just, silent. So it's like, I hate that people have that mentality, of the WWE still. I was bummed that Charlotte was still getting it, because she's already 7-time champ, 8-time champ. So it's just, it was just not refreshing. It was just like, what the fuck is going on? That's what I was bummed about.
Well, Charlotte definitely has the in-ring credibility
she does.
And a good connection with the audience.
But we still need to make superstars of the future too, is my thing. I just hate that people were still using that kind of shit when it was Alexa Bliss and Carmella with the championships. When over time Alexa Bliss hasn't really done anything, but she fucking left an impact right off the bat with those drafts. And she made herself, a force, a recognized, commodity in the WWE. And same with Camilla, that her fucking drive, what she's been doing. Like I completely wrote her off in NXT. I thought she was just going to be the fucking, Brooklyn blonde-haired, look at me, dance around kind of girl, and she had a hell of a match this week, and it was awesome to see that.
Did.
And we need to have faith in Liv Morgan right now is another one where I'm like, fucking A, she's another one. I was just like, okay, NXT wise, she's nothing. She's nothing spectacular right now, but slowly progressing. We're seeing that, and I've harped on the podcast before. Throw them to the fire, feed them to the strong will survive, and we're seeing that. So to kind of put that championship back on Charlotte, my initial response was like, God damn it, we're doing this shit again. I would have rather Carmella retained it. But that fucking twist at the end, Becky finally fucking stepping up and just snapping and turning on Charlotte. That's what I want to fucking see. Those two best friends. We know we can get a hell of a fucking match out of those two.
Yeah,
so it's instantly turned my emotion. So it's like, oh fuck, finally WWE's throwing me for a loop. It's like, okay, this is great. It instantly took away I wish Carmella would have retained, because I did enjoy what Carmella was doing as the women's championship. I thought it was fun. Mella is money.
Hey, a lot of people are saying Mella is money. I wasn't one of them going into the match because and not necessarily because of Carmella's own performance.
And I thought she was fucking great in that SummerSlam
Absolutely.
match too.
I was not expecting as much as we got from Carmella in that match. I was impressed by Carmella in that match, and now I'm kind of curious to see the singles match with Charlotte this week. Full disclosure, by the way, for the listeners, I'm just coming off a vacation last week. That's why there was no show last week, and I have seen zero WWE Raw and Smack. I've seen a little bit. I've seen some clips, but I'm going off of what I've read about and talking with you guys about your opinions on it. So, but I'm definitely excited for the Carmella thing. To see her progression, but a lot of the Carmella thing, some of the hatred or whatever you want to call it, is the way she's being booked. She's being booked like a typical WWE heel. WWE heels always cheat or use bullshit or James Ellsworth or whatever to win and to
look
retain.
What happens when they don't? They get fucking cheered. Loudest pops of the night, Becky Lynch right now. They're trying to make her a fucking heel, and the crowd has never popped harder for her like this.
We'll get into that, but I know you wanted to interject something in the
Carmella all
thing.
I was going to say about the Carmella match is kind of what you said, is that it wasn't like, again, go 5-star performance, but you see the little things that she's doing, the little things in the ring that she's slowly learning. Again, I don't think I've seen Carmella really do suicide dives that much. And she did one on the SmackDown episode on Charlotte, and I'm just like, wow, just that little piece, just that little bit, willing to take that little extra step, it shows that she's trying. She is really trying to do what she can in that ring. So
go ahead, Byron, get excited.
That was a good one.
So I'm bringing out some old ones here. I got a different page up today, so I'm looking around here as we record. So let's talk about Becky Lynch itself and the story that WWE is trying to tell or whatever, because there's a connection with the audience with the Becky Lynch story that the whole crowd is behind, seemingly at
all of a sudden,
right? Well, I don't know.
She's never had chance of Becky Lynch roaring in a whole fucking arena like that.
Right.
She's never fucking had that, and she's the number one draft pick for SmackDown.
Right, but people, I think, have been behind the Becky Lynch story. She's just been on the back burner for so long that she hasn't had...
get in the WWE line. Everyone's behind him.
But so she hasn't had the chance. She comes out, has this great moment with Charlotte, but then WWE, and again, I haven't seen it, so I'm just going by what I've read. So I kind of want you guys to talk about how you feel about what WWE is doing with the Becky Lynch thing, because I mean, it got a huge positive reaction of when Becky turned on Charlotte or whatever. And then same thing on SmackDown the last couple of weeks. She's been getting chants and people rooting for her, but they're trying to have her go the quote heel route or whatever, saying the crowd isn't behind her when they obviously are. So to me, there's a little bit of Vince McMahon being stubborn, saying, kind of the Roman Reigns thing. God damn it, she's going to be a heel, and they're going to hate her because we don't like her either. So this is what we're going to do.
To me, it's the fucking crowds. You're a heel, you're a good guy. You're a face, you're a bad guy. Like, it's just, and then you got your in between, your Miz's, your Carmellas, the ones you want to boo, your Elias's. You want to boo them, you should boo them. They're saying the smarky ass shit for you to boo them, but they're fucking great. They're characters. They're selling it. Fucking, it's great. It's putting a smile on your face. And then fucking something like Becky Lynch happens where she's being snarky. She's being heel. She's being dastardly. The crowd's fucking eating up every moment of it because it's different. It's a change. It's not the same Becky Lynch, last kicker, fucking Becky Balboa. Like, I'm sorry. It was fun for the first couple of years of that shit. It got kind of old. Like, I love this nasty side of her, this dark side of her. Call it a heel turn, call it a nasty side, call it what you will. It's fucking the most entertaining thing she's done in a long while.
Well, see, I like the story, right? Of she earned her opportunity for the one-on-one match with Carmella. Charlotte goes away, so that leaves an opportunity open for Becky Lynch to rise up. So she rises to the occasion, gets her championship match. Now here comes Charlotte coming back and just fucking waltz into the title picture. Why can't she get a title shot after SummerSlam? Why does she get to come in? So that story made a lot of sense to a lot of Becky Lynch fans. And then at the end of the match, when Charlotte fucking hits her with natural selection from behind and pins her out of nowhere, turn essentially, fucking, but
has Charlotte not done this to everyone her whole career though?
Right, but here's the thing. And then Becky Lynch turns on, because God damn it, this was supposed to be my opportunity, and why the fuck? And so everybody's behind that. But the thing is, on TV, from what I've heard, from what I'm hearing, from what I'm seeing online, it looks like they're still trying to portray Charlotte as the sympathetic one here, and everybody is sympathetic to Becky Lynch. I agree with you, Taco, that I'm loving this new Becky Lynch, but it just seems like they're trying to portray it a different way. What are your thoughts on this thing, Joe?
You know how I feel about Becky Lynch, so I could care less, honestly.
You're not into it.
I want to see a promo. I haven't seen a real promo from her on the heel side. She's done some sneak attacks. She's said a couple things. I want to see how the character plays out. I've just not been a big fan of her personality.
I heard her promo last week was really good.
Straight fucking fire, dude.
Maybe I missed that. I might have missed that one. So I'll have to check that out. But she just doesn't do it for me personality-wise. She's a great wrestler. I enjoy watching her matches. She just doesn't do anything for me on the mic.
Well, I'm going to have to get into watching some more of these SmackDown clips myself, too, because
I feel like she's just going to come out and hit harder, be faster, be stronger, and it's just be a whole different person, and this is what's good about, the position they put themselves in, because they can adapt the people to what they need to be. That's kind of what good storytelling is with wrestling, is you adapt as you go. If you could predict how the crowd's going to react, then what the fuck is, read all the dirt sheets you want and all that shit. It does take away from the moment. I love this back and forth people have been going, I love it.
Yeah, but I think it was pretty obvious going into this thing that people are going to be behind Becky Lynch more so than Charlotte in this situation, especially the way they told the story. And they didn't really adjust after the reaction happened at SummerSlam. They kind of
they did. They had Charlotte come out this week and she says, "I don't fucking care. Let's go at it." Charlotte's stepping it up. They are doing that where it's just, Becky is pissed. She wants that fucking title. She's finally stepping up to that plate to, do what it takes to become a champion. And Charlotte's like, fine, fucking bring it. I am championship material. You want this? Come get it, kind of shit. So, it's awesome.
Okay, but I'm telling you, they're going to start having Becky Lynch cheat to win, and it's going to be bullshit, and everybody's still going to be mad, and the internet's going to be screaming about it anyway.
Oh, thank God I'm already mad.
They'll fucking scream about whatever.
All right, let's move on to some. Let's talk some All In stuff before we get into anything else. Did our best of the week stuff. Now I want to talk All In. So excited for this. Sad that you guys couldn't make it down there, but going to be tons of other podcast listeners and other podcasters. I feel like it's going to be an entire arena full of other podcasters, quite possibly. And I'm looking forward to just meeting all kinds of cool random fans and having an entire 4 days of fucking madness as far as wrestling goes. So
Macho Madness.
Let's talk the card. So they're billing the main event as the six-man tag, the Young Bucks and Kota Ibushi versus Rey Mysterio, Phoenix, and Bandito.
Oh, man.
So, I mean, I'm not going to throw a ton of predictions out here other than I just think that's going to be an insane match. I mean, the Young Bucks, anytime they're in any kind of match, predictably, they have very good fun and exciting matches.
Sick as fuck right now.
Yeah, Nick is
raw garlic,
battling a bad flu bug, I guess. So
raw garlic.
Yeah, hopefully he's
listening. Raw garlic.
Raw garlic.
Hopefully he's recovering on his way to this show. But yeah, that should be a hell of a deal. Kenny Omega versus Pentagon Jr.
That one I am jealous of.
A pretty cool dream match there. That's going to be awesome. By the way, we did talk about before the show, reminding people if you're planning on watching this on like a New Japan World, njpwworld.com, it won't be live on there. They're going to put it up sometime after the whole thing airs. But don't sign up for NJPW World until the 1st. Otherwise, you get double charged. So, but it is going to be available on that streaming service as well as the Honor Club VIP service, I believe. I think it's just the VIP service.
I believe VIP, yeah.
I don't think it's on the $9.99 one. And then, of course, Fight TV, pay-per-view, and then the All-In 0 Hour on WGN America for free. That's pretty cool, too. So we'll get into all of that as well. But yeah, just wanted to remind people about the New Japan World thing.
Save you some ducats.
But yeah, Kenny Omega, IWGP champion. It's going to be really fucking cool. Seeing him and that belt live and in person in that arena, that's going to be cool. And then, yeah, just the dream match versus that hardcore guy from TNA, Pentagon Jr.
Oh, man.
The NWA World's Heavyweight Championship match between Nick Aldis and Cody Rhodes.
Fun.
I mean, you got the Dusty Rhodes history here with the NWA World's Championship.
Sure.
That's the whole thing here. Not a bold prediction here, but it'd be really cool to see Cody win that thing.
Be a good spot.
So I'm pretty sure that's probably...
Well, Aldis has had it for a while, hasn't he?
Yeah. I mean, he won it off of the Tim Storm guy. And Aldis has had it pretty much since the spring. I think this was when that happened. The entire build to All In, he's pretty much had the belt. So, and we had the nice teaser story there in the middle where everybody thought Flip Gordon was going to win it, and that was going to be his ticket to All In. And of course, that didn't work. But boy, it was a fun story along the way. So
intrigued, man. You got to keep us intrigued.
Yeah. Okada versus Marty Scurll again. Just I still haven't seen Okada live and in person, so this is going to be that's a big deal. That's a big deal for me. That's going to be a huge thrill, and just this is a fun match. You know, Marty cut some really fun promos going into, especially this last one on being the Elite. I think 2 weeks ago or last week, Okada is passing Marty Scurll in the hallway. He's carrying his fucking balloon gimmick, and like Okada has said previously in the build up to this, well, this will probably be Marty Scurll's last match before he goes to 205 Live. And so a couple weeks ago on Being the Elite, they pass each other in the hallway, and he just mouthed him 205.
I do like Marty Scurll's fingers he has with the broken finger, like the foam finger.
Yes, the foam finger.
Fucking great merchandising.
Broken foam finger, yeah. Then the Chicago Street Fight, Joey Janela versus Hangman Page.
That's just going to be so fun.
It's going to be fun and insane.
Super jelly.
And expect, since this match is one of these. Oh, you got to go here. Oh.
This match, and
Anything goes!
I fully expect an appearance from famous dick wrestler Joey Ryan in that one.
Do you mean Joey Ryan or the ghost of Joey Ryan?
Well, that's it. We don't know. Everybody thinks he killed him, but
there's going to be a lot of big dick energy going on at that timestamp in Chicago.
But that's the thing. SCU. Scorpio Sky saw Joey Ryan when they were in SoCal, so you never know. Stephen Amell versus Christopher Daniels. Looking forward to that. I really hope to see a best moonsault ever. That would be
it's
fun.
going to be done by Stephen Amell.
There you go. The four-way women's match, Madison Rayne, Chelsea Green, Britt Baker, and Tessa Blanchard. That should be really good. I mean, Madison Rayne, how about her all over the place?
Yeah, good for her.
She's going to have a Ring of Honor women's title shot here, I think, next week on Ring of Honor TV. She's in the Mae Young Classic, back here at All In, so she's just killing it lately, all over the place.
Getting that name out.
Yeah. The Briscoes versus SoCal Uncensored. That's on the 0 Hour show. And then the over-the-budget Battle Royal. Really cool because you got a lot of names on the show that weren't previously announced for the show. And then, of course, the winner gets a shot versus Jay Lethal for the Ring of Honor Championship. I mean, a lot of interesting aspects to this here because, I mean, you've got the controversy going on with Jay Lethal. Which still
has there been any updates to that?
That's
really?
the thing is there hasn't been. I haven't heard any updates to it, but he's, Jay Lethal's back on being the Elite this week, and allegedly the what's the Macho Man persona called?
Black Machismo.
Black Machismo.
Black Machismo is taking over his personality and is threatening to show up at All In, taking his place. So there's that aspect of it, which is not, I mean, Black Machismo was a thing that he had to kind of run away from that he did in TNA. So I don't know if it's smart to go back to that. But if the idea is he's there, that Ring of Honor's getting him out of the championship picture, maybe that's the way to go. I don't know. But that's very intriguing depending on who wins that Battle Royal.
Here's the question, though. Like, I'm intrigued by this Battle Royal. Like, are they going to take, like, kind of make it a fun, like, happy-go-lucky win, like cheeseburger, I don't know, someone fun, or are we gonna get a fucking giant surprise, like someone who's recently a free agent,
like Neville,
like a Neville?
Yeah.
How awesome would that shit be?
Well, I mean, you got a lot of interesting names here. You got Moose, who's part of Impact.
If Juice was there too.
That'd be cool if Juice was in there. He's a Chicago guy, so that'd be awesome. Jordan Grace, the lone female announced for this Battle Royal. Really cool to see her in that. Colt Cabana, who's a Ring of Honor guy. Ethan Page, not Ring of Honor. Rocky Romero doing his New Japan thing. Brian Cage, really interesting name coming out of Lucha Underground, and I think he's the X Division guy in Impact right now. So that's a cool, interesting name. Billy Gunn, he'll be there with his ass and everything. Jimmy Jacobs, who's also doing Impact stuff right now. Marco Stunt, don't know who that is. Brandon Cutler, Punishment Martinez, another Ring of Honor name, but the current TV champ right now.
Getting all the belts out there, man.
At least I'm not up on spoilers for Ring of Honor, but I don't think they've changed the TV title as far as I know. And then they got 4 guys to be determined, I guess.
No Kingdom? What is this bullshit?
Fucking conspiracy.
But there are 4 names that have not been announced in matches so far. You got the Best Friends, Chucky T and Trent Beretta, Matt Cross, and MJF. So whether those guys are in the Battle Royal or somewhere else on the card, who knows?
Is that Son of Havoc then?
Yeah. Matt Cross. And so I'm expecting to see some surprises in the Battle Royal too. So that should be a lot of fun. But yeah, I hope
the Invisible Man comes out and wins it.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I'm kind of expecting a Ring of Honor title change here, just because I don't know. I'm still not cool with what's going on with the Jay Lethal story. I mean, we haven't heard anything else on it.
But the one thing I will point out is there's not a bunch of people backing her either. Like, there's no one standing up behind her saying, oh, yeah, absolutely, Jay Lethal did this or Jay Lethal did that. It's literally just been radio silence.
That is true, whereas like with the Elgin thing, there was a lot more steam behind that. I'm trying to think of another one that was recent. That,
I'm just thinking Ring of Honor is being smart, and they're just keep it quiet, let it play out until you get, if there is a problem down the line. But until the information comes out, you got to just keep it straight.
Well, yeah, not put it on social media for that to get out there too. So hopefully action happens. Like, hopefully an investigation's happening. But it's just how easy you put something on social media and just fucking explodes bigger than. God, I sound so bad right now. I know what you're saying. I hope they are doing a proper investigation on it, though. It's just social media just nowadays can just it can just be nasty. And look, it's out there.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing is, people can take things the wrong way on social media, and things get blown out of proportion. And also it could just be perception too. Maybe Jay Lethal, I don't want to make excuses because I don't know the situation, but she's claiming that he had something to do with her being ousted from the company.
I feel like there has been
depushed
reports
because
of other people reporting it, but that's what I think they're just trying to get their ducks in a row before shit's really announced or said. And
I mean, all you can do is hope for the best. Either way,
all I know is if Jay Lethal comes out as Black Machismo, it's gonna pop the crowd. I think definitely, but it's not a good look for your Ring of Honor champion either. I don't think.
But the WWE is also throwing Randy Orton out in a Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah, but I mean, he's not coming out acting like a dork or whatever. But I don't know. I
think it's more of an all-in thing. Again, all-in is just it's fun. Let's be honest. This is just going to be a fun, exciting show with great matches.
Yeah.
If that's kind of what they want to do, if Jay Lethal's like, you know what, I just want to pull it out one more time. Ew. But. But if that's what he wants to do, let them have fun. It's just a show, man.
I'm looking for it here. Hang on.
I know. That is so profane, Joe.
There it is.
That is so profane,
Joe.
And rude.
Took way too long to get.
I
to
wouldn't
that.
mind that championship being on Silas Young though.
Ooh,
that's right. That's what I want.
Well,
a real man.
Here's the thing: is they've got some really good young up and coming stars here. A lot of people are talking about the possibility of this battle royal being Flip's in to All In.
Sure.
So I mean, him getting in that title match and possibly winning it. I think that's a smart move, man. Flip is over. He's very young in the business. He's only got a couple of years of experience.
Yeah.
He's got the whole storyline going on with Bully Ray right now too. But I mean, that would be a huge moment here, and I think it would get some eyeballs on Ring of Honor. People aren't talking about Jay Lethal right now. He's a guy that's been around. You put the title on Flip Gordon, it's like, okay, I've heard of this Flip Gordon guy. He's creating a lot of buzz, and oh my God, he's the new Ring of Honor champion. What's going on at Ring of Honor? I think that'd be a smart move. Same thing with like a guy like Hangman Page, who's coming off this great run.
He's definitely the future there.
In the G1, he's a guy you could definitely elevate to the main event. So, I think Ring of Honor's got to start making some smart moves and elevating this younger talent to the title pick. Yeah, Silas Young is a cool heel. He fills a spot on the card, but him being top champion, it's kind of cool if you're following Ring of Honor.
Right.
But it's when people casual people like, well, who's the Ring of Honor champ? Silas, the last real this guy with a mustache.
Yeah, he's the last real man.
I mean, to us, it's like, yeah, we're fans of him, but it's at the same time.
They also have a big problem in Ring of Honor now. The man that's on your T-shirt at the moment.
Jeff Cobb.
Yeah.
He's a big
What a debut this week.
Yeah, well,
last week.
Last week, yeah, fucking up that top prospect tournament match. Well, Eli Isom looked like a prospect. The other guy just looked like he needed a tan. But Jeff Cobb making
But I like that, that right there is Ring of Honor making some good moves, signing on Jeff Cobb. And, that's one of those things where I don't think Ring of Honor necessarily needs to, shoot for the sky, reach for the sky, punk. But, they definitely need to step it up a little bit. They don't need to go balls to wall like Impact's done in the past or anything. But, they got this team, they got the talent, they got fucking New Japan backing them, which is, cool. But, yeah, they now's the do or die, shit or get off the pot situation.
All right, so other stuff all in weekend. AAW is running shows on Thursday and Friday. I'm going to both.
Nice.
If you're at the shows, come up and say hi. But they don't have a lot.
He'll be the guy in the wrestling T-shirt.
Yeah, the Los Ingobernables hat. Yeah, there won't be 30 of those there. But they don't have a ton announced. Nothing announced for the Friday show. And these guys always bring in a lot of huge indie names. So, I mean, I'm hoping for like a Zack Sabre, although I haven't seen his name anywhere around All In Weekend. And I don't know if he's doing other stuff anywhere around the world. But, yeah, Jeff Cobb would be great. Who knows? But what they do have announced for the Thursday show, this is pretty fucking hot. So Pentagon and Rey Fenix versus Flamita and Bandito. So that's, that's a match that they've been taking around and fucking blowing everybody out of the water with. So that's going to be awesome. And then just some names that they have named here for the show. The besties in the world, Scarlett Bordeaux, who's recently made her Impact debut doing some TV, quote-unquote, doing interview segments or whatever. David Starr.
So don't hot shame her.
And, and Eddie Kingston. So that's all that they have announced. But I'm really if these shows don't blow it out of the water, I will be very surprised. So I'm going to both of those. And then I've got a couple of StarCast things that I finally, I bought some tickets for today. I bought the general admission StarCast thing, so that just kind of lets you into the common areas and stuff like that. Then I got the I got the super geeky wrestling media meet and greet thing. I don't know if they're recording a podcast thing, but it's Meltzer, Alvarez, Wade Keller, and Bruce Mitchell. So that's like the super nerdy thing that I'm doing. Going to that. I think that's Friday. And then what else did I do? Oh, I got the ticket for the after party, hosted by Tennille Dashwood, after All In. So this is like,
what about the after party?
I don't know anything about the after
what about
party.
the after party?
I'll be in the hotel lobby. That's all I know.
Hey, Liz Lemon, you go to the after party.
So I got the
John Ralphio, bitch.
I got the after party tickets. And that's all I got so far. And there's a ton of other like wrestler meet and greets thing. You can like call the last 5 minutes of Okada and Omega with Kevin Kelly, shit like that. There's you can meet and greet with basically anybody, for a price. Of course, it all costs money.
$50 a handshake,
pretty much, yeah. But the one
$100 just to look at them in the eyes.
The one I'm actually considering is that you can smoke a cigar.
Oh, I saw that
with Cody Rhodes and Frankie Kazarian. They've got these American Nightmare.
I need you
American
to
Rebel.
get me some of those cigars,
so
man.
The American Rebel cigars, and this it's like $75 to do this.
Oh my god!
But I'm really thinking about it just for the experience.
Smoking a cigar with them for $75 is better than fucking shaking a hand, taking a photo for $60.
Right. Just the opportunity to hang out and smoke a cigar, and this is on Sunday afternoon. So this is after All In, after all. It's going to be hungover Cody and Frankie Kazarian basically hanging out and hungover Tommy hanging out.
Better be hungover.
Smoking a cigar. I told you I'm going to the after party. I don't know what else to tell you. I got my Uber app all warmed up for this thing. So that I'm strongly considering the cigar thing and maybe a couple other things. But this is going to be a ton of fun. Hanging out all weekend, going to this stuff.
I mean, just hanging around the other people, chatting. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's going to be a ton of fun. There's going to be people everywhere just being like, "You want to talk some wrestling? All right, let's talk some wrestling." That's the fun of it. Like getting all these people into one big area. We're all together, and there's a big ass show this weekend. Let's have some fun.
Right, and there's like other podcasts that are obviously way more popular than we are. That are having
We're not popular.
There's other podcasts.
There's like having random meetups at bars or restaurants or whatever. So I'm looking forward to just like jumping on Twitter and be like, okay, who's getting together and
For sure.
checking that out.
Yeah, man.
That's going to be really cool. incredible. So, yeah, All In's going to be huge and so much fun. Can't be more excited for it.
It's going to be huge.
Let's change it up here, shall we?
Change the subject.
Nice. Taco got it.
The subject.
What do you want to? Should we do some Raw talk here? Coming
Raw
out
talk?
Coming out of SummerSlam, I guess we probably should.
SummerSlam?
Monday Night Raw.
So Roman Reigns is the new Universal Champion. This is the first time we've had a chance to talk about it. We kind of saw it coming, right?
Yeah.
So how you guys feeling about Reigns as the champion? How are you feeling about the crowd response? You got the so-called Braun Strowman heel turn. We got the Becky Lynch heel turn, the Braun Strowman quote-unquote heel turn here.
Wait, did he do a heel turn?
I don't know.
If it's a full turn, but it's basically with the main event. What happened was they set up the tag match. It was going to be Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman versus Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler. I love the promo setting up the match, which was basically Dolph Ziggler and them saying they're just here to challenge the best. They're here to change the game, and that means you two sitting on top of the pile. We're going to take you two on. I love that setup.
For sure.
And then it just turned into Roman Reigns fighting, goes for the tag. Braun just doesn't come in the ring, and then they just all three beat the shit out of Roman Reigns, and then the
I
Shield.
missed that part.
Yeah, basically at the end it just turns into Braun Strowman letting them beat the shit out of Seth Rollins. They call the match, and then all three of them beat the shit out of each Shield member one by one. Which again, you can call that a pet peeve technically, but like the fact that first Dean Ambrose comes out to help.
Pet peeves.
Comes out to help by himself, and 3-on-1 can't do it. Oh, then Rollins comes out. Why didn't you just come out together? At least then it's 3-on-2. But
Yeah.
Getting past that, but basically Braun Strowman, the big thing that people are thinking is because he was raising his hands with Dolph and Drew at the end, like in the middle, like kind of thing. They're feeling like I'm hoping it's just Braun Strowman taking advantage of a situation, and that's what they play it into. I don't want to see a heel turn because, again, this is the guy he's getting people to chant, get these hands.
Yeah.
It's like the feed me more chant to me, honestly, like from Ryback back in the day. Like, it's not a good chant in my mind, but he's getting people to do it. Why do this? Just let him be the monster that he is. Let them have fun. Let the crowd have fun and enjoy it. Don't force feed fucking Roman Reigns down my throat.
Yeah, and to me, here's a funny thing, right? So the big news last week was like the Shield reunion, right? But to me, it felt heelish because Braun Strowman came down to cash in, and everybody's popping for the cash in. But then the fucking Shield come out and stop him. It's like, well, wait a minute. I wanted to cash in. What the fucking the Shield? Okay, the Shield's cool, but I mean, but what about the cash in here? Fucking the Shield's a bunch of heels. They're standing up for this asshole Roman Reigns. I'm gonna fucking.
And then you have Strowman doing the honorable thing and cashing in and picking a date.
Yeah, exactly. That's babyface. That's right out of the John Cena playbook. So it's interesting either way. I guess who cares what the quote unquote heel or babyface role is here? Because everybody's into it. Everybody's into the Braun Strowman thing. People are into the Shield
it's just
thing.
Two big guys fighting, and I like what they've been doing already with Roman. Like just right off the bat last week, he's like, you know what? Bring your ass down there, Finn Balor. Let's get that rematch clause. He's the first fucking Universal Champion to get a rematch.
Yeah.
So just right off the bat, they did a smart move. Fucking get that out of the way. Get that out of the people's system. It was a good fucking little match we got out of the way.
Didn't he beat him with the spear after the fucking Corbin skullduggery or whatever, the fucking distraction finish or whatever?
Yeah, it was a little bit that at the end. But what did you expect?
Distraction. Too many distractions.
Anyway,
but you got a Universal title, defense on fucking Raw. They're building that prestige back into it. So I even like that he's trying to do the Shield Open Challenge bullshit or whatever, because you have Rollins doing that to it. Now it's like, fuck, now I want a title in Ambrose. Like, let's have them all do open challenges. It was a fun little spot. And,
yeah, I did like how
I even like how they were like, well, fuck it, we're going to do this right. We're just going to make this, let's get that fucking briefcase out of the picture now. Like, does Braun Strowman really even need the fucking briefcase? No,
he doesn't.
Exactly. I'm glad they're not doing the Weasley cash in the briefcase kind of thing. And I like, too, that this week on Raw that Strowman gave the briefcase to Corbin and said, here, fucking, I'm cashing in for Hell in the Cell. Well, I hope he's fucking that's just that much of a brute that he forgot to sign the contract and Corbin fucking puts his name down on there.
That's what I was thinking immediately,
I
too.
hope he fucking does that Weasley ass shit.
No.
I am in.
I feel like I'm gonna vomit.
I'm gonna throw up.
Because then you'll have Corbin fucking up 2 cash-ins, and I just think that's funny.
That is funny.
But I'm liking it. We know these guys are not afraid to go at it with each other, and putting them in a Hell in a Cell. Cool.
That is some Russo ass shit. If fucking Corbin puts his name on the briefcase,
It was just the look, like how he handed it over, like the look on Corbin's face, like.
Picture the entire crowd, like with the doing the Undertaker loss reaction. If Corbin comes out to face Roman Reigns,
No. What's gonna happen is Corbin's gonna let the Braun Strowman Roman Reigns match play out,
and then he's gonna come cash
and then
in.
he's gonna come in and be like, "Look, that match wasn't official, and I put my name on that contract."
You're a piece of crap.
I told you that match wasn't official.
Yeah.
Will you stop?
After he lost a Finn, he's just trying to breathe and like talk into the microphone and getting a couple words out.
With all my paperwork, I forgot to say this match was a no DQ.
Very good stuff.
Interim
there.
general manager Corbin, by the way. I just want to fix that up.
Interim-
No, I'm liking Roman Reigns. Let's fucking ride with it. Raw's been feeling good. It's been a feel good show. You got fucking Revival winning a fucking tag match. They beat the B team, so we got them. Number 1 contenders next week on Raw.
Okay.
So what's going on with Kevin Owens? He quit because he can't win a match. What's going on here?
Came out to answer Rollins' call. They had an awesome match.
Great
Again,
fucking match. Pulled out a stunner, dude.
Right, yeah, he pulled out a Stone Cold Stunner on Rollins. It was nice. Again, it's so many memes of people with like just Stone Cold being like, "Fuck that shit. That's no stunner." But then, yeah, what I like that they did is they did the Jericho where they went to commercial, like even talk it, like they did the announcers talking into the camera, went to commercial, they come back. Yeah, so Kevin Owens, he's just sitting in the ring. Nobody knows why. So, and he's got the microphone. He's got a chair sitting in the middle. And yeah, just I quit. Walks away. I like it. Like
Eyes are bloodshot red too.
Yeah.
he's got that pouty face. He's chubby pouty face.
I did see the memes or whatever with
him and the Dave Bautista.
Yeah. That was good stuff too. So yeah, that's
I think it's probably just a reason to give him some time to heal up again. He's been actually doing a lot of shit, and again taking a lot of bumps from Strowman.
Fucking off the ladder, off the fucking cage, through the table.
I mean,
give
supposedly he's signed to a multi-year contract. Let's give him a break.
That guy Kevin Owens he's always wanted WWE. He did not like being on the road in the Indies. He didn't go to Japan. He's a WWE guy for life. So maybe they're just going to give him some time off.
He's making good money. His family's comfortable.
And there's already rumors that he's coming back as the Paul Heyman guy.
Ooh, I wouldn't mind that.
I don't give a shit.
Why not?
Because, at least with the Lesnar and the Heyman like that, we had the build up to the relationship. We had that. If he just shows up, it's just going to turn into a Cesaro situation again. He's the Paul Heyman guy.
And
I love those two together, but I see where you were going right there.
Yeah.
He doesn't need a mouthpiece.
Right.
He can handle himself on the mic. I don't need that. Again, I want to see Paul Heyman build talent. Start from the bottom.
I think Heyman would be good with Rousey.
Yeah, I mean, that would be good, if Rousey was good.
You've got Rousey's decent. I've enjoyed what I've seen from Rousey. And if you got Paul Heyman kind of on her side or whatever, advocating not only in storyline but also in the back, kind of controlling things creatively like he did with Brock Lesnar.
She's gonna have to be heel for that, though.
Oh, absolutely, but I think that would
and
work.
She can't. She's too happy.
Yeah, probably
too happy, and her matches are too rushed. That's the problem I'm having with it. I get it.
Great.
I get it's supposed to be like the MMA feel. I do get that sense from Rousey, but we gotta slow these matches down. Like, I'm not even worried about the girl she's flipping around, you know, like they seem to be able to handle it okay. I've got no problem with that. But like, everything is rushed, everything is too fast. She's almost one step ahead of the wrestler that knows what they're doing.
She's one step ahead of a lot of people.
So, because again, there's a lot of talent there. I need to see more work in the ring, which is why I see her losing that title.
I think she needs some new gear, actually.
This is my only pair of clothes.
I think that would help too. But anyway, yeah. But what were we talking about again?
Kevin Owens, like he
Owens.
needs to be the prize fighter, Kevin Owens, if he's going to be paired up with Paul Heyman. Not because he even said it this week. He's like, well, Dolph Ziggler has his best friend outside to win his championship back, you know, and all that shit. So it's like we need to get away from the best friend thing. Like, Festival of Friendship is over. Jericho's already the Whispering Impact.
That's
right. Sami Zayn is going to be injured for a hot minute. So
I think I really want and need to see a badass Kevin Owens.
We need Kevin Owens again.
He's been
the debut Kevin Owens from NXT when he came in and beat Juice.
And even if he, I wouldn't mind seeing him turn babyface and be the badass Kevin Owens. I think that would
work fine.
That would be good. That would be really good. That'd be great because he's been the chicken shit main roster WWE heel, and so have him come back as that badass. I think that would be a cool story to tell with him. I think he could do it really well too. What the hell's Trish Stratus doing out there with Elias?
Well, Elias was putting down Toronto.
Oh, okay.
And there you go. That's all you need to know.
So she came out and did a thing.
Yeah, but what sucks about it was a WWE thing was like they do the promo with Trish Stratus and Elias in the ring, but then it turns into like the girls' match, and like Elias is just gone after she puts him down a little bit. Okay. I didn't like that aspect of it, but I do like Alexa Bliss pulling out Mickie James just to come out. So you've got Trish Stratus and Mickie James, even just standing across from each other outside of a ring. I still feel that rivalry from when I was a kid. Like that was a big one for me. Crazy Mickie James versus freaking Trish Stratus. I mean, WrestleMania matches there. There's history there. I love it.
That's a big show.
So and then. I get the jokes.
I'm on it today.
But what I like about it is while I don't know if it'll happen with Rousey in this, but like say Alexa Bliss gets that title back before the Women's Evolution. I'm saying Alexa Bliss versus Trish Stratus for the title.
No, you fool!
I want it. It just adds extra intrigue to that match.
Yeah, no, I think they're keeping the belt on Rousey, but
that's sad.
Yeah, it's not.
No, it is.
It's pretty awesome.
Nah, it's disappointing.
So you guys aren't into the Rousey thing.
She needs time before she has that. It's just, how are you going to get that off of her now?
Exactly.
She's
a machine.
She is. Like, she's the unstoppable force. Like, it's Ronda fucking Rousey.
Yeah.
Like, I at least would have liked a little bit more. Maybe one more match. If they're going to do another match with her and Alexa Bliss, at least I would have liked that fucking pop the arm out scene and like just like end the match. Like, holy shit. Or
Did
something.
they do a rematch here, or are they going to do that at Hell in a Cell?
I think they're doing
Hell in a Cell.
Hell in a Cell.
Okay.
But I don't know. It's just like I agree with you. I'm liking what Ronda Rousey's doing in the ring. It's fun when she has time to plan, but when she's throwing out there and just like spontaneous moment, like she's fucking trying to slam these. Like she's just too, like what I was saying earlier, she's too happy. She's so happy to be out there, but when she has to put on that Ronda Rousey mean face, she's just trying to slam these people through the ring itself, just trying to make them land on the ring, which I love. Fox, it's awesome, but she's doing it to everybody though. It's just not Alicia Fox, and I don't want someone to get really fucked up out of it. But hey, I'm not the one stepping in the ring. That's them. So more power to them. But
like I said, I think she has a little bit of trust with those
girls. There's even reports of her from like a house show, I think tonight, where she almost actually lost the title because she was not kicking out.
Whoops.
Yeah. So it's just like, oh God, I'm glad she's doing house shows and traveling and doing shit like that. That's awesome. Like image wise, her having the women's championship, fucking awesome. But we literally just got the Universal title off Brock Lesnar and him not ever defending it and being. It's also Brock fucking Lesnar too. Like you want them to have this MMA, image and defending a belt, and it's kind of what I was saying earlier about the at SummerSlam. Carmella losing the title to Charlotte, it was kind of like a fuck again moment. Like it just didn't feel right until Becky, hit at that moment. That moment hasn't hit with me and Ronda Rousey yet. It's still kind of like yep, we did it, WWE, good job, and now we have fucking Bellas coming out and shit. It's like, I don't even want to see Ronda Rousey and the Bellas together.
Yeah, aren't they doing that next week or something? Ronda Rousey and the Bellas versus, they're doing like a six woman tag or something.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I thought I saw that. Yeah, again, I've been talking about this for years with the Bellas. When did the Bellas become likable? When did they have that baby face turn? Yeah, I get the Daniel Bryan and Brie thing a little bit. But
Nikki's grown on me. I've said on the podcast, like through the years, she did get a little bit better, and she was actually putting forth in the matches, and then she would just disappear. Brie Bella's not done anything ever for me, though.
Ever.
To me, you're right with Nikki improving in the ring wise, but all of a sudden she came out and everybody was supposed to like her when she was completely unlikable in her record long heel run or whatever with the championship. And so it was like they never had a moment where it was like. But here's the thing:
Total Bellas and all that shit.
Yeah, the thing is I think there is a large part of the fan base that are just behind the Bellas anyway. So I'm kind of in a minority thing over here screaming on my internet box.
It gets to that point too where Miz is beyond that point where they've been in the WWE for so long. It's respect.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, I don't know where they got it. But...
Yep. So anyway. Let's move on here.
Changing the subject.
Remember when I said I was on top of it? I lied. It was
SmackDown Live.
I'm going to make this a tag team match.
That's what I thought. Whatevs.
So yeah, we talked about the Bellas just now a little bit. It's kind of weird that they can just show up on either show, but you got Brie helping out Daniel Bryan, which is okay. Kind of continues the Miz storyline thing. You can get Maurice involved, both recent moms, yay.
Mom mode.
Yeah, mom mode. So let's talk about this Carmella versus Charlotte match a little. We talked about the Becky Lynch side of the story, but let's talk more about Carmella and how she's been really stepping up in ring. I mean, I really liked the match at SummerSlam, and I think you guys were saying some good things about this match from SmackDown this week.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good singles match with Charlotte. I mean, rematch for the title. I mean, she gets her title opportunity, and she's stepped up on TV, and I think you could even hear it in the crowd a little bit. I think like they're just like, wow, did she just do that? And again, with Charlotte, you've got a lot more trust in the ring. Again, she can handle a lot more than most girls. She's got the experience, and she technically has the height and the size to be able to handle a lot of stuff. She can make people look good just by taking a move, and Carmella dropping the suicide dive on her was a big one for me. Like, I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe she actually dove out of the ring.
Yeah.
The Staten Island princess.
There's a few moves too where like she did like a Frankenstein out of the corner too, and it was smooth but still like, I don't want to say sloppy, but still sloppy in a way. But I like it because it's just like when things are polished and perfect and done well, it's kind of like what Joe was joking about earlier. It's like, oh, this is so choreographed and shit. No, I like grittiness, like just movies, music, wrestling. I like that little just that raw vibe of stuff too. And that's kind of what I like about Carmella too. Is like she does like a twisty flip move, some shit. And she comes up like, I did that, like yeah. In your faces, so it's like it works. I love it. She knows how to milk that shit too, and and this is one match I wasn't expecting to really be anything, especially with Becky Lynch looking around the corner, and for the fact that Charlotte did she made Carmella tap out, and then Becky Lynch attacked after the fact too. So it's just like awesome, it was just it's still on people's minds. The age of women's wrestling being 2 minutes long, and let's get more commercials.
Yeah.
She's she's the prime example. When she was champ, you're nothing but a diva. Yeah, you goddamn right I am. She was proud of it, and this is her backing it up. So it's just like, I'm on the Mella train, 100%.
And in a way, she's kind of, because a lot of people were saying that Carmella and Alexa Bliss are essentially the same champion. They're both the same type of heel that cheat to win and use bullshit tactics or whatever. But at least Carmella is kind of stepping up and having these kind of standout matches here, whereas Alexa Bliss is, she hasn't really done that to me.
Like I said early on the podcast, at first she was like, "Oh wow, yeah, she's stepping up. This is awesome. This is great." And yeah, after maybe Naomi lost, it's been the same coat trail the whole time. So it's just like, yeah, definitely want to see something else different. Not Ronda Rousey, though.
All right. Well, remember a few minutes ago when I said I'm on top of it today, I lied because not only am I fucking up here and there, but I completely skipped over Joe's Best of the Week.
The B stands for best.
But that fits into what we're talking with SmackDown-wise, because we did.
I think we got into that.
We did get into that. I thought so. I crossed it off.
Okay.
I can't read it anymore.
Yeah, I got crossed off, too.
I thought I skipped it. But yeah, no, we did talk. We talked Samoa Joe and AJ
This guy is on top of it, my friend.
On top of it.
Well, since you're on top of it, I have to pee.
Hold on, I can find it here. Hang on, I just had it up. Here it is, right there.
Excuse me, I have to go to the men's room. I'll be right back.
Well, since we did talk about the thing at
it scared the piss out of him.
Podcast rust, right? It's been a couple of weeks here.
Pod rust.
Pod rust.
Rusty pod.
So what's going on? Convince me on this Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton situation. We got creepy Randy Orton spying on the whole situation. We had Randy attacking Jeff Hardy in the whole U.S. title thing. Nakamura's out of the picture. He retained the title.
What the fuck's he doing at Hell in a Cell?
I don't think he's doing anything yet, which is fine. He doesn't need to be there.
Oh, we did have the United States of Knock America. Fucking, I'm a proud Knock American. What about you?
Yes. So what's going on?
I'm down for this, just because ever since SummerSlam, the Nakamura Hardy feud, Randy Orton's been Randy Orton again, the fucking sick maniacal fuck, just beating the shit out of someone, and he's getting moms worked up on the internet again. It's so fun to see that shit. Like, this is the sickest shit. How dare you? And it's just him fucking wiping the face paint off Jeff Hardy's face. So it's just awesome to see that mentality again, where it's like he's not really doing anything wrong, but it looks brutal as fuck, and that's what Randy Orton does. I love that chaotic side of him, and it was so awesome last week too. Like Jeff Hardy, like I laugh at his promos because he's able to get in my mind, man. But it's Jeff Hardy. It's awesome. It's fun, and I like that he was like, Randy Orton was able to, he was able to get in my mind, and he made me think I could fly, and he jumped off the thing. It's just such a Jeff Hardy way, which is like, it's that silly I miss those silly promos in pro wrestling. That's what WWE is always going to have. Like, we're not ever going to get like a whole Macho Man fucking pulling creamers out of fucking thin air kind of promo again. We're just not going to get magic like that. But that's kind of how it is nowadays with Jeff Hardy and the fucking face paint, the extravagant fucking character, and just making you listen to his words. He's so good at that, even though they are fucking silly, ridiculous Jeff Hardy shitty lyric words. They're fun, and I like to see that. I like that he pulled out that extreme side of him again to fight Randy Orton. I like that he's the one that said, fuck it, I want this to be in a Hell in a Cell. And Paige, she's been such a fun GM, she's like, well, let's do it then. This is gonna be an awesome match. And I agree, Randy Orton, he's he's done some crazy shit. Jeff Hardy ain't afraid to do crazy shit. So it's just one of those ones. I think this is going to be a fucking good highlight spot for both. I don't want to say both their careers because they've both had phenomenal careers, but it's one to be. I hope this is one to remember.
Joe's back from the bathroom.
I'm sorry about that.
You sell me on this Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy thing.
I shouldn't have to. Think about how violent Randy Orton has been over the last little while, and then just think about the chances that Jeff Hardy's willing to take, especially when he's in his different character. He's willing to try different things, and
it's a dream of his to jump off that fucking cell and do a swanton.
I mean, the guy's insane. Like, and again, like, I'll go as far back as going, like, think about John Cena and Randy Orton in a no disqualification Iron Man match and the shit that they were able to do to each other just in that match. Now imagine years later you're facing Jeff Hardy, one of the craziest motherfuckers to ever, step into a ring, and then you have one of the most violent legend killers. He even pulled that out on SmackDown Live. He's like, you can call me the Viper, you can call me the... many of the nicknames that he has.
Just don't call me late for lunch.
But I'm telling you, like, I think this could be a surprising Hell in a Cell match. Like, just throwing these two almost randomly in there rather than having the championship match. I kind of like that.
All right, we got to change it up because we haven't talked.
Change the subject.
We have not talked about NXT TakeOver since it happened, and so we got to get it.
NXT.
Listeners are like, we've already heard about this shit.
Well, they haven't heard about it from us.
Correct.
Us.
Yeah, us. Usually we record on Wednesday nights after NXT, but we are recording earlier because I got a pack to go to Chicago here. So we're
something going on.
So
just wear the same shirt. You're going to a wrestling show. No one's going to know.
Just wear this one shirt all weekend. Yeah, NXT TakeOver. I really enjoyed it. It didn't stand out to me as one of the great NXT takeovers that we've seen in the past. Like, it's a great start. It was good, but I thought we've seen better tag matches from Mustache Mountain and Undisputed Era, Hun-Ha Clinton.
That was awkward made after talking about Clinton Dix.
But I thought we had better matches from those guys. EC3 and Velveteen was all right, but the three main events I thought were really good. I mean, obviously the Ciampa retaining against Gargano, great match again from these two. Mm-hmm. The finish to me, I don't know, it was just all right, but I mean, you kind of had to figure out a way to keep the title on Ciampa, and so I thought it did well. I'm interested to see how they follow this up with Johnny Gargano. I see Aleister Black's already, lifting the heavy weights, trying to make his comeback. So that's an interesting part of the story there too. What'd you guys think of the main event?
I mean, it was good. But for me, the match of the night was Ricochet and Adam Cole. I think that one's the one that actually stole the show for me, just because you got to see the best of what Adam Cole was, and you got to see the best of what Ricochet was. You got to see the top of those two, moves wise, I believe. Like, you saw what Adam Cole can do on his own. You saw what Ricochet can obviously do on his own. And, I like the idea of, again, him losing the title in that sense, but I think we were just kind of tired of Ciampa and Gargano right now. Not that it's bad,
yeah,
and not that we're just a little exhausted with it. It sucks, the injury, throwing the kink in the plan. We could have had the triple threat really tear this show down, but shit happens when it comes to that again.
I think people just want a one-on-one, no stipulation match between the two.
Exactly.
That's where I'm at between them.
And I think that'll be coming, but they had to, they had this match ready to go, basically, and it was just like, we didn't want to do the one-on-one match now, so this is what it was the victims of the unfortunate situation. But yeah, if they could just get away from these two for a while and then bring it back when it's fresh, and like you said, Taco, just a straight-up match, I think would be really interesting at this point, even after all the crazy fucking matches they've had. You can... to a certain extent, you can put the toothpaste back in that tube a little bit, but I think you got to have a lot of time where we don't see these two one-on-one or even, against each other at all. Just keep them separate for a long time, or maybe never come back to it. It could be a situation where somebody gets moved up or somebody moves on, too. So
you also want to, set up stuff for the future.
Yeah, exactly.
If it happens in the future, fucking awesome. I'm glad that plan worked out. If it didn't, we'll never know who pied Kevin Owens.
So to get back to the Ricochet match, Joe, I liked the Ricochet Adam Cole match to me, it was good. It didn't stand out as the best on the show to me, but come to think of it, I can't really maybe point to which one would maybe be the best. Maybe
Kairi Sane and Baszler.
Maybe that one. And I did like the main event, but it wasn't even my favorite match of their trilogy, I guess, between those two guys. But yeah, I like Ricochet with the title. That feels good to me. Adam Cole was just kind of there with the title. It kind of built him up a little bit with it, but you know,
doesn't need it.
Right, he's over without it. I think a guy like
he's better to chase too. I think.
Yeah, maybe, but I think I like Ricochet with that title.
Come out dressed like Tanahashi too.
Yeah, with his style and everything, and to me, I thought it was good, but I felt like I was waiting for more from Ricochet because I've seen so much more already. So it'll be interesting to see that progression in NXT of him, you know, unveiling certain parts of his arsenal as we go along, as he evolves in his NXT career. So I'm looking forward to seeing more from Ricochet as we go. Kairi Sane and Shayna Baszler. I was not expecting Kairi Sane to win that match, but
oh man,
yeah, I liked it. I thought it told a nice story. Kairi Sane just fucking making that comeback and getting that huge win.
Best match too out of their little trilogy they've had so far too. Just the whole thing was just a roller coaster from both sides.
Yeah, so I'm excited where things are going forward. Again, we haven't seen this week's NXT, but there's rumors and spoilers out there that I think I've avoided the spoilers for the most part, but there's, you know, some 4 horsewomen stuff being talked about on the NXT side of things. So it'll be interesting to see where things going.
Yeah, NXT
forward.
has the better stories right now.
Yeah,
and what I like is, even though it's an hour, I don't feel overloaded with how much crap they throw at us every week. You know, you've got 4 or 5 different storylines that they sneak into an hour or less every week. And each week I'm like, all right, so this is moving, and this happened. All right, this is awesome.
Because you're not seeing it through an hour of recaps.
Right, and it's just a 1 hour show, so you don't get the recaps, and you don't get everybody on every week. So, you know, if you only see somebody every other week, it's like you build the anticipation, like, oh, I need to see Lars again. Here he is. I haven't seen
Taco.
I'm ready for Lars.
What'd you think of the second investigation video last week on NXT?
Oh, fucking brilliant.
So did they make up? I missed.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Missed last week because
they found new security footage of on top of the roof, wasn't it? And they got
from
it
a different
digitally
roof.
Enhanced and processed it, and it was just Nikki Cross chilling out
on the roof. She probably saw everything. It's the best thing. They zoom in, and my favorite part about the shot,
some Impact
shit.
Shit.
They digitally enhance, and they go in, and you can clearly see it's Nikki Cross on the roof, where she just hangs out.
So they doubled down on the ridiculousness of the
yes.
Okay.
But what I like about it is Nikki Cross is just being Nikki Cross.
Nikki Cross.
She's just hanging there like hanging out with making a face like, she was just hanging out.
See, I do like the aspect of showing what all these different characters would be doing in a situation like that, but it is fucking some TNA shit.
Oh, man.
But when they're all
So
doing
good.
it like it's a fucking Where's Waldo photo op, it's like, God damn.
Fucking Jeremy
Here, the
Borash.
TNA is hiring.
So yeah, Jeremy Borash has his fingerprints all over that thing. So speaking of some Impact shit, I do want to talk a little bit of Impact here.
Change the subject.
I really just want to talk about briefly here how, for me, Impact has kind of jumped the shark already. So I did not watch this last week's episode, but I heard about all the quote-unquote controversy, people being upset, internet screaming, etc.
Oh, I missed controversy in wrestling? Weird.
So 2 weeks ago on Impact, they did a big, what felt like was supposed to be a blow-off of something that's already kind of been blowed off or whatever. The whole LAX storyline, basically, where finally the young guys get the win over the OGs or whatever, except they did it in an outdoor street fight. And so it was a multi-camera shoot, and it was like they like Eddie Kingston and Conan agree. Like they set up the rules ahead. It's supposed to be like a gang fight, right? And so each side shows up not only with just their fucking tag teams, but they have a gang behind them. So it looks like they're going to have this giant gang fight, which is ridiculous. But then the quote unquote bosses agree that it's just going to be between the two tag teams, and the bosses are not going to get involved. So it immediately feels like 12-year-olds setting up a fight in the playground, right?
Yep.
So that's ridiculous about it. Then
Isn't that what all gang fights are, though?
So then they have the gang fight, which is full of the ridiculous
Fuck you up.
full of the ridiculous pro wrestling toys, the garbage cans and lids and stuff. It was junk, whatever. It was shit. It was just shit. And so at the end, the LAX, the young ones win. Conan is victorious. Eddie Kingston demands that Conan take him out, and Conan takes him out, quote unquote, with like a sock, a weighted. What do you call a weighted sock? A sock with some.
Homie, don't play that.
Homie says, "Knock it off."
He takes him out with a homie, don't play that, basically. And so I'm like, what the fuck? This was the main event. I'm like, what the fuck is this? So that Impact jumped the shark with me last week. This week they do something very similar, except this time the OGs run over and murder a child.
Wait, were they high on the devil's lettuce?
So I did not see this, but I heard about it.
You know what commercial I'm talking about?
Yep.
The drive-through, run that kid over.
So they do the pro wrestling thing, right? So and in some segment on the show, some cinematically filmed thing, they run over a child, murder has happened, and they go back to the ring and have some more wrestling matches because it's a sports show. What are we doing here?
So people are mad at Izzy for taking a chokeslam bump, but they're not mad at some random kid for taking a car bump. A car driven by Rikishi.
People are mad at the car bump, but nobody's seen it. Like 300,000 people watch Impact, so nobody's seen it. So yeah. Anyway, so that's my TNA rant.
That sounds wonderful.
Impact rant. They jumped the shark for me, so I will be peripherally keeping an eye on Impact. Not
it's there right now.
It's there. Joe, I understand you've got a little update on
change the subject
on what's been happening on 205 Live. I can't find the fucking
Got hit the sounder, man.
Where did
I can't do my update without the sounder.
I don't think it did. I never made one, did I?
Yeah. You did for 205 Live.
I don't think I did. It's
Didn't
not on
you do
here.
the what is a cruiserweight line?
Yeah,
Come on, man.
What happened to it? It's not on here.
You guys, you're fired.
Berenstein Bears.
All right, talk amongst yourselves.
I wish you the best of your future endeavors.
Stein, Steen Bears. There's no A in there. It's not stain. It's not a stain of bears.
Berenstein.
It's Berenstein Bears.
Fucking
We're getting down to hard facts. I remember this specifically.
Is it Kazam or is it Shazam, Taco?
It's Kazam.
I know.
Keep going.
Look at this guy. He's got like 4 pages
He's
of sound
digging, right?
bites.
Too much.
Digging deep for
I
them.
got too much going on.
205.
Distractions. Too many distractions.
Just make your own sound clips.
205 question. Are you a cruiserweight?
Ooh. That's still one of my favorite intro ones, too.
We haven't used it in so long. Joe, give us what. You're the only one watching 205. What's going on?
I mean, again, the love for Drake Maverick is still awesome. I love that every show starts with an update. Rather than just your standard recap of this is what happened, now let's see what happens. No, he's like, this is what happened, and now I'm taking these moves to get retribution.
Violent.
Yeah, exactly. But you've got, again, they're fitting so much into an hour. You've got Hideo Itami. He's in a feud with Mustafa Ali. That's a great feud because Itami took him out, like just beat the shit out of Ali, and he returned this week finally because Drake Maverick said he can't come back until he thinks he's ready to wrestle. And Mustafa walking out in a business suit, rolling up his sleeves as he's walking to the ring, and then Hideo Itami, I'm out of here. Does his heel thing. But I think that's going to lead to a really good match between those two in a week or two. They didn't set anything up. What else? What was the main event? No, not the main event. It was Brian Kendrick versus Akira Tozawa.
Okay.
Because those guys, Brian Kendrick, Tony Nese, or Drew Gulak, whatever, bunch of guys.
Buddy Murphy.
Buddy Murphy, there's another one. Attack the shit out of them. And so Akira Tozawa comes in. He literally beats the shit out of Brian Kendrick for a good 12 minutes. Like, it's just, there's a couple little spots for Kendrick because Gallagher's out there, but it's the Tozawa show. I think they're really trying to hype up Tozawa still because he's on every week, and it's a match. It's never just a promo with him. It's always a match with Tozawa. He's either getting retribution for something or he's starting a match that he's going to have to get retribution for later. But I love Tozawa. He's still been kicking ass.
Who are they building up to be the next opponent for Cedric Alexander?
I think they're going to do Gulak and him again.
Okay.
Because
was there controversy? Was there skullduggery?
I don't believe so, but I'm going to be honest with you. I did not watch the kickoff
Didn't
show.
watch the pre-show.
Like, I did not watch any of that. And that was a match I was really interested in, but the minute they popped it on the pre-show, it's like every Cruiserweight match we've ever seen just gets cut on the pre-show.
Did you see that one, Taco?
I did, but it was so long ago.
I don't know. I'm excited for Gulak. I think he'd make a great champion.
I want him as champ, yeah.
Yeah, Cedric Alexander just doesn't. He's just not doing anything right now.
Personality, again, great wrestler, and he puts on hell of great matches, but like he's just bland. He doesn't have that pop even as a babyface.
Dirty pop.
Really, NSYNC, dude? What are you, Kane?
I want to talk a little Ring of Honor here. Since we're not doing strong honor this
one
week.
thing I want to cut in is one thing we didn't bring up was the Matt Hardy deal. The fact that he got nice.
Gotta move it. Gotta wind it back.
He got a send-off at the live show because he's going to be taking an extended break. Apparently his spine and his tailbone are fusing together because of how much wrestling he's done. So he's been training as a producer a little bit, but there's no guarantee we're going to get Matt Hardy anymore in the ring. And that, it saddens me, but also he's been putting his body on the line.
Yeah, and he's looked like he's been walking around tough recently too. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, you can see it in his movements, even in his matches.
Recently.
But there was a big send off. They beat, I think him and Bray Wyatt teamed up one last time at a live show, and they beat the B team in a non-title match. And Bray Wyatt, apparently, they went up the ramp, and Bray Wyatt threw up the Hardy Boys thing with Matt Hardy up there. And I was like, I want to see that.
Yeah.
So I just thought I'd throw it in there. I'm just like, it's like, if this is a career, again, give the guy credit for what he was able to accomplish and create, just from his house and his own mind. And, I hope the best. I want to see either one more Hardy's run or a true broken Matt Hardy run.
It's kind of too bad they kind of, quote unquote, broke up the Hardys this time around because they kind of both needed to be in a tag team. It feels like, but I mean, they did the thing with Bray there that was okay. So, we'll see what's next for Mr. Hardy. All right, let's fast forward back to
where we were.
To the
Wait,
back to the Ring of Honor now. So I just want to quickly talk about the last couple of weeks of ROH TV because we're kind of building up a little bit to All In on there, but not a ton. But there's some interesting stories going on Ring of Honor as we kind of build up to the pay-per-view at the end of the month, Death Before Dishonor, back in Vegas, I believe, and I think they're doing a new venue for this one in Vegas. They're not doing the Sam's Town thing anymore. Doing a bigger venue for ROH in Vegas, so that should be interesting to see. But I liked the Chris Sabin versus Scorpio Sky from last week.
Oh yeah.
They're kind of building up Chris Sabin. He's got a TV title match coming up, and then we had the Alex Shelley quote unquote retirement, not retirement deal, and Punishment Martinez attacking both of those guys. So I like the story going on there. The Alex Shelley thing kind of adding to the drama a bit. It really plays into it for me and kind of really putting some momentum behind Chris Sabin. Had a good Best of Super Juniors earlier this year that they talked about here, and has got some nice momentum going into this match with Punishment Martinez. Now I kind of think they're just building him up to lose to Punishment. I think that's smart. Sabin's an older guy, but they're doing a good job building him up for this match.
Could you ever see them doing, not even say, but like a cruiserweight title in Ring of Honor, a small guy title like that? Or do you think that's too much?
I don't think so because most of the guys in Ring of Honor are smaller guys anyway, and they've already got the TV title anyway to act as that secondary title. So I think they're good with what they have for singles titles because they did the Karen Q versus Jenny Rose match. match last week. Karen Q got the win with some skullduggery from Kelly Klein, distracting Jenny Rose in the match. They got a nice little story going on between Jenny Rose and Kelly Klein because Kelly Klein popped out threw out her mouthpiece at the referee, and Jenny Rose busted her teeth up. So there's a nice little kind of pseudo-real story going on between those two. Kelly Klein beats Jenny Rose up after the match here, after basically distracting her, letting Karen Q get the win, and then Kelly Klein beats her up after the match and throws her dental bill in her face. So
that's awesome.
Were you going to throw something in there?
I was going to say I like that spot, too.
Yeah. And then I thought Marty Scurll versus Kenny King was a really good main event last week. You know, I've been kind of down on Kenny King recently, and I've been down on him his whole career. Who am I fooling? But he's been on my radar more and more lately, and they kind of did a pseudo heel turn with him over last week. So he has the match with Marty Scurll. Marty Scurll is quote unquote the villain, but everybody loves Marty Scurll. Because he wrestles like an old school heel, but everybody loves him. And so for Kenny King to win the match, he cheats. He rolls up. It's funny because Scurll is going for his umbrella. The referee's distracted because he's putting the umbrella out of the ring. So Kenny King rolls him up, puts his feet on the ropes to get the win. So and then Kenny King is cutting a promo on TV this week saying, "Look, man, I'm not a bad guy. I'm just going to start doing what I got to do to win. You know, I got this thing going on with Austin Aries. He's doing the same thing to me. So you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to start doing what I got to do to win because I got to look out for Kenny King." So I'm digging what they're doing with Kenny King here. They're putting him a little being more aggressive. But him just saying, you know what, fuck it. If I got to cheat to win against these fuckers, I'm going to do it. And so I like that. It puts him a little more on the heel side of the ledger, as well as I think it's something he needs right now because he's just not working as a babyface.
Well, and it gives him the leeway to do just little things, just those little tiny things. It doesn't have to be a full-on heel turn again, you know, like happening this week. You can sprinkle it in, build it up, and then make that full heel turn at some point.
Yeah, and then this week on Ring of Honor, they continued to talk about the Kenny King thing. This is where he did that interview, was on this week's show, that promo. And then Christopher Daniels versus Jay Briscoe. Good singles match.
Yeah.
It's kind of a preview for I think they're gonna be facing off tag teams, SCU versus the Briscoes at.
It's not Chris Daniels in that though. It'd be Kazarian and Scorpio Sky.
But at Death Before Dishonor, I believe, is where they're going to do it. But you're right. Yeah, All In, they're doing.
I thought you were talking about All In.
Yeah, you're right, because Chris Daniels is going against Amel. But no, yeah, at the Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view at the end of the month, it should be Daniels and Kazarian versus the Briscoes. So they're building that up here. And I thought it was noteworthy because Christopher Daniels is back to being 100% babyface in this situation. You know, that Ring of Honor crowd has come back around. But, you know, the Briscoes are over kind of in that legacy, have been around in Ring of Honor forever, but they're also good at being heels too.
Yeah, they're mean motherfuckers.
So, but yeah, I thought that was notable after getting all that heat in the Cody feud or whatever, and kind of being against Bullet Club. Now after rescuing Bullet Club, from the Briscoes and all of that.
Well, you're not really going to be booed out of the building when you're on Being the Elite either.
Right, exactly. Well, and that's the other thing too, is being the Elite and just the SCU thing. SCU has gotten those guys over as well, so that helps.
That's because your town sucks, Tommy.
I want to go back to the week before when it was Scorpio Sky versus Chris Sabin. The crowd again was split for those guys. You know, a lot of Motor City chants and people chanting SCU at Scorpio Sky, and Scorpio does the line like, "This is the worst town I've ever been in," and the crowd like chants it along with him. So it's like the longest catchphrase ever, but it's over. So it's cool. So yeah. We're going to get Jonathan Gresham versus Jay Lethal in a couple of weeks on Ring of Honor TV. They've had two really good long matches where Lethal has won both of them. The first one they had was before Lethal was champion, so it'll be a championship match here in a couple of weeks, and they're doing a 30-minute Iron Man match. So
cool.
It's kind of weird. Like the 30-minute Iron Man has become this thing now. Well,
because it's a doable match even on TV.
Yeah.
It keeps it with a question question, but you're guaranteed 30 minutes of a wrestling match. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't want it on pay-per-views, personally. I'd rather see real Iron Man matches if that's the case, but...
And even those are tough because you know going into it that it's going to be an hour.
I love that fact. I'm the opposite of other people. Like, the first time someone told me the first match of Kazuchika Okada versus Omega went 55 minutes, I'm like, oh, this is going to be fucking awesome. Like, that's my initial reaction when it comes to that.
But it depends on the people, the build up in the story, though.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to have Madison Rayne getting her title shot next week on Ring of Honor versus Sumi Sakai. So we talked a little Madison Rayne earlier. And then the main event this week was Young Bucks and Cody Rhodes versus the Kingdom. It's a fucking conspiracy. This is for the 6-man titles.
Conspiracy. This is bullshit.
It is, man, and the Kingdom have been talking about
bullshit.
And it is. It's bullshit. The Young Bucks, Cody pins the illegal Vinny Marseglia in the match, so they win. They get the 6-man titles, but there is controversy and shenanigans. I demand an explanation. Where was Todd Sinclair coming out and restarting the match like Nick Aldis on commentary was saying in this thing, too? Fucking, where was he here? He should have come out and did something about this travesty of justice. So we need answers next week.
Why should the NWA World's Champion trust Ring of Honor?
Exactly.
He can't.
Exactly. So we'll get, hopefully...
Bunch of fucking bullshit.
Hopefully we get some answers next week on Ring of Honor TV. Cody pinned the wrong man. We need a rematch or something at perhaps Death Before Dishonor. So again, building up to that at the end of the month. One more.
Are we building anything for Jay Lethal at this point? Does he have a match?
They're building up the Jonathan Gresham thing on TV, and so that's coming up in 2 weeks. But they're not building anything for Death Before Dishonor yet because we got to see what happens at All In.
Good point.
So we'll have more answers post All In and post more TV taping stuff that was taped weeks ago. So I guess we'll have to wait and see there. All right, let's wrap this show up. Time for Match of the Week.
Match of the Week.
Since we're segueing in with Ring of Honor, the one Ring of Honor match I didn't talk about from the last couple of weeks, Silas Young versus Flip Gordon. That's my match of the week this week. Again, I didn't see a ton of wrestling, but I really liked this match and the story that it told. It played into their previous match where it was for the TV title, where Silas Young won and won some respect from Flip Gordon after the match. Like, Flip was all beaten up after losing this match to Silas Young last time, but Silas at least had the decency to go over and like shake his hand loosely or whatever after the match, after refusing to shake his hand before the match. This match, same thing, doesn't shake hands before they have the match. Flip gets the win, and a very good match between these two, by the way.
I'm gonna have to check this one out.
Yeah, Flip gets the win with a leverage roll up here. Flip's offering to shake Silas's hand afterwards, but before Silas can even make a decision, here comes Bully Ray with the low blow from behind on Flip Gordon. But then there's a little bit of a stare down between Silas and Bully there, and you're kind of rooting for Silas right at this moment. Like, he's earned the respect from Flip or whatever. He should stand up and be a fucking man to this fucking Bully, and I'm kind of rooting for that situation. But
I want it.
But it didn't happen there. Bully just kind of shook his head at Silas like, you're no fucking real man, and then Bully kind of gloated to the cameras or whatever. So we didn't get kind of what we were wanting there. So I'm wondering if that's a teaser for something down the line.
God, I hope so.
I wouldn't mind a nice little babyface run of Silas Young there, or at least coming to the aid.
Women! I care about women's wrestling, Mandy!
Yes, that would be out of character.
Well, and again, what better person to Bully is the perfect person to turn yourself into a babyface.
Yeah,
he can make anyone into a babyface at this point,
and it'd be a great post Flip Gordon fucking feud for Silas. I would be into Silas Young versus Bully Ray.
Yeah,
fucking rooting for Silas. That'd be let's do that. You know, the grizzled, angry veteran versus the last real man of professional
He's
wrestling.
amazing on Twitter too. He posted just the other day, just coffee and cigarettes, the only way to start a morning. He's just sitting there with his cup of smoking a cigarette. He's like, that's a man right there.
Speaking of Silas Young and the last real man, his compadre Beer City Bruiser was on Jericho's podcast a few weeks back,
nice.
and I just discovered it this week. So he was great on there, kind of hearing his story. So check that one out for sure if you're into those guys. So, but yeah, that's Ring of Honor. That was my match of the week, Silas and Flip. What's your match of the week, Joe?
I've got Bianca Belair versus Deonna Purrazzo debuting on NXT and technically at the NXT TakeOver shows. It was one of the recorded matches.
I missed last week's NXT too.
Deanna's outfit, amazing. She's got an awesome coat, awesome Titantron, and then on the back of her tights, I believe it says Fujiwara Armbar Specialist.
Nice.
So again, pushing that thing. But the thing about this match that really impressed me on both sides is one.
What is your submission hold?
You know what Deonna Purrazzo can do in the ring, especially submission wise. But I've never seen the amateur wrestling style of Bianca. She was able to go toe for toe with her a little bit. Again, you can see the difference. Obviously, Deonna really being the submission specialist. But Bianca really impressed me in this match, and she got the win over Deonna Purrazzo, which I really like because it doesn't hurt Deonna. People don't know who she is technically, but they just saw an awesome match out of her against Bianca, who they're building up already anyways. So you've got two good situations out of both of this. And yeah, I mean, Bianca she's impressing me every week. Her promos, everything in the ring has gotten better. She got rid of that fucking backwards powerbomb finisher, thank God. That was the one thing that was holding her back for me. And yeah, I mean, what else can I say? Like I said, Deanna's going to be amazing.
Yes.
Taco, what is your match of the week?
I got my match from SmackDown this week, Daniel Bryan against Andrade Cien Almas.
Yeah, I mean, that's
what more can you ask for?
Dream match right there.
Yeah, it was awesome. Daniel Bryan's on a full another fucking level right now, and Andrade is there to step up to the plate, and it seems like these guys know each other so well, and they work so well. Oh, it was beautiful. It was so fun.
They gave that one some good time.
They got some good time on that one.
Well, in the Tranquilo spot when he hits the ropes, and Daniel Bryan drop kicks his ass out of the ring. It's the first person who's just nah, done. And I love that spot.
Andrade with those fucking knees too, man. I'm a big fan of that guys, and it was fun to get to see that surprise match. And I guess we haven't got to say it since SummerSlam, but look who looks like someone signed a contract.
What's that now?
Daniel Bryan looks like he might have signed a contract.
I mean, they're really bringing in the Brie thing, and that's the one thing about that match that sucked was obviously it had a skullduggery finish involving Miz and Maurice and all that bullshit.
But it worked so well with their stories. And
it did.
It managed to make Maurice look like a really badass too, because her fighting for her man and everything. I even like that Brie Bella was like, "Well, I came out there to pop Maurice in the face, but Miz has gone the way." It was such a fun interaction between them, and let's have the couples do the thing. It'll be a fun little moment for them, but just getting matches like this out of Daniel Bryan, it's I love it. It's the Daniel Bryan World Tour, and keep it fucking going. He just came out, talked about the cast stuff. He's like, I loved it. I'm glad, I wish him the best. He was such a sweetheart about it. It's that's all he wants. He just wants to wrestle. Yeah. Anyone and everyone, just bring it all on.
And personality-wise, the thing is there's not a lot of things. I'm not afraid to admit that every once in a while when I'm watching wrestling, I get goosebumps. And whether it be from just an entrance, a move, or anything, when Andrade's music hit with Daniel Bryan, goosebumps went on my arms. I was just like, oh my God, again, I love that I can still get that feeling from a couple of wrestlers, just two guys who are about to go at it.
And it's SmackDown, dude. Fucking Joe and AJ is doing that shit too. It's just SmackDown's just been fucking stellar.
They're making SmackDown great again.
Well, it's just we joked about.
They should probably go red then.
SmackDown bringing King Booker out and everything.
I know.
It was so fun. It was
fun.
It was awesome.
I gotta check it out.
I don't you've said it on the podcast before. I've said it. It's oh my God, how long is this New Day gonna keep going? But they keep me. I fucking love these guys.
Every week, and they got to do commentary again this week.
And then every time they would pan over, it's just pancakes, and and he slams that guy, and more pancakes.
Yeah, my favorite part was them is just some from behind us, and they just chuck them behind them.
And it just WWE is doing a good job of making you want to choose a side, Raw or SmackDown, and you've chosen SmackDown. All of us, we can't harp about SmackDown enough. It's fucking great. To me, Raw feels like the WWE product, that just mentality, like, get them in. SmackDown is starting to feel like that wrestling side of WWE.
Almost an in-between NXT and Raw.
It feels like wrestling still. At time it feels like Attitude Era sometimes. It feels Ruthless Aggression Era. It just feels like WWE again, where Raw to me is just the moneymaker. The let's get the advertisements in, and it's just like, but both of them to me are hitting a good nerve. So
all right, well, I have to use the restroom. So
excuse me, I have to go to the men's room. I'll be right back.
So we gotta get
I just
out.
went in the corner of the couch.
We gotta get out of here.
Go look under your couch, by the way.
Diaper, guys. Diaper.
Right? Yeah, you should talk over there, Joe.
Yeah, we have you on podcast leaving
mid-show.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
So follow the show at BPW Podcast on Twitter. Email the show bestprowrestlingpodcast@gmail.com. Go to the website bestprowrestlingpodcast.com. Say hello to me at All In and follow me at Tommy Stryker. That's Stryker with a Y on Twitter. I'm going to try to do some tweeting while I'm at All In, but again, I'm there observing the experience.
We should make Tommy bring cardboard cutouts of our heads with on popsicle sticks.
Taco, where can people find you?
Follow me on Twitter at HGREV Taco.
And you can follow me, Joe, at JoeBPWP. That's at Joe, Best Pro Wrestling Podcast.
That's it for Best Pro Wrestling Podcast.
SLTD.
Oh, fuck yes.
Fucking new fantasy league, new season starts. Pick your people, pick an NXT star, female superstar, Raw, tag. Make your own team.
Yeah, if you
the Best Pro Wrestling Podcast co-host squad V 2.0 is gonna win.
Well, I'm hoping Stryker Likers does a little bit better than it did last time. But yeah, get in now. You've already missed Raw and SmackDown this week. But now is a good time to get in early and
it's fun.
Form your fantasy team over at sltdwrestling.com. You can find this podcast over there. They've got some other podcasts over there as well. And lots of great fan articles, all the stuff, all the things.
Fun stuff.
All the things you need.
sltdwrestling.com. That's it for the show. I got to piss. Bye.
Peace.
Excuse me, I have to go to the men's room. I'll be right back. Thank you.
Are you done yet?
I'm sorry about that. Can I ask a question?
No.
Baho. Hand. I got one.
Whoa.
Oh.
What did that asshole say?
Now the room smells moist.
That's Joe's asshole.
Ooh.